We've all got them. And if you don't have one yet, I hope for your sake you find one and you find them soon. We have that one client who shaped our entire trajectory. One transaction, one experience that taught you so many lessons that still today, 20 years later, you still operate in a manner that if you had the opportunity to find that person, you probably should buy them a beer because you are who you are because of their transaction. Today's episode, I'm going to tell you the story of Lowell H from Jacksonville and everything that his transactions taught me when I was a young originator just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC
John Coleman.
Dio, what's popping?
I don't know, John. I don't know.
Good.
I do not know what's popping. It's a Monday. You and I are getting ready to travel out of town yet again.
At another shitty location.
Which not you have not been, have you?
What, to South Carolina?
Yes.
No, I have.
Okay.
What's there?
Greenville, South Carolina is a cute town.
A cute, quaint town.
Yes. It's just a pain in the ass to get in and out of.
Yeah, no.
Like, true story.
It's quicker to drive.
It may have been quicker to drive. Would you rather me cancel our flights and we'll drive?
Nope.
We're going to be flying. Delta, here we come.
Yay.
So, no, there's not a whole lot popping. You know, it's week before Mother's Day. You doing something big for your mom?
No, I just borrowed some jewelry.
Okay, but you remembered it was Mother's Day?
No.
Or did your wife remind you?
She bought the card for me.
Yeah, that's what a good wife does.
Fucking made up holidays. Everything is made up, Dustin.
Yeah, but you know, you can, I don't think you screw up Mother's Day. I think you can kind of screw up Valentine's Day, but you can't screw up Mother's Day. Like,
that's
that's
a
one thing
marketing
I've
ploy.
learned.
It's marketing to generate revenue for some industry. That's all it is, Dustin.
Yeah, I like this prompt. John prompted me with this. He's like, hey, do you have any really cool stories that the audience can learn from? I'm like, oh my God, let me tell you about this one borrower.
Yeah.
I started going, and John's like, just stop. He's like, save it for the show.
Save it for the episode, and here we are.
So we're going to save it for the show. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Jeremy Dean, with Elite Title in Texas. This is his shirt.
Paper sucks.
Paper sucks. It's all about going digital, right? Remote online notary. We've got some RON closings, some e-closings. So Jeremy Dean in Texas is a massive champion for wanting to have a paperless closing. He thinks realtors could use it to attract more clients. He feels like loan officers can actually market themselves in a manner that would attract more clients. Jeremy was one of the reasons why I was invited out to the Texas MBA to speak last month. So while I was out there, he gave me this shirt, and I said, Jeremy, I'd be more than happy to rock it on TLOP.
What is
so
it? Is it Gildan? What brand is it? Gildan?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
Looks soft.
It's soft. Yeah. No, it's not scratchy.
Let me guess. Another one of one shirt, even though it's a podcast hosted by two people.
It is another one of one shirt.
Here we go again.
But you know what? I didn't have that much room in my carry-on. I maybe could have grabbed you a schmedium. I just didn't.
I wear a medium.
Yeah, a schmedium.
Yeah. I like tight-fitting clothes now.
Is that what
like
it is?
European. I dress more and more like a European.
Okay.
Where I can't fit shit in my pocket, so I wear man purses now.
Do you really?
Yep.
Is that what you bought from Louis? Was a man purse?
Well, I bought a lot of shit from Louis over the past. I made it into the champagne room, actually. They invited me back. Mr. Coleman, would you like a glass of champagne? I was like, thanks. I only had to drop like $25,000 here, but I made it.
Let me ask you a question. Would you ever wear like a Louis belt with like a
don't fucking like Adidas with Nike. Get off my lawn.
Thank you.
Fuck. I can't.
Well, I was on the plane coming back from wherever I was last, Detroit, and there was a guy and his wife, and you could tell they were
stimmies.
They were a fun older. They're older, probably in their 50s.
Stimmies.
But he had on like
can't do it.
All these different brands.
Gucci,
I'm like, that doesn't like it was like a Louis backpack with like a Gucci belt, and I was like, yeah, I didn't think you could either.
You can't. But
and then some other branded like baseball hat that was like really fancy. Yeah.
We call those stimmy. Say it with me, Dustin. Stimmy. There you go.
Okay. And do you want to translate?
Yeah, stimmy or people who wear things and are at places and like, how'd you get back here? It's because they depend on government subsidized checks to fund their lifestyle instead of just working hard like everybody else. Stimmies.
So all right,
people
there
that
we go.
Depend on the stimulus check.
All right.
But
Hey,
speaking of stimmy, let's go ahead and roll this ad, Dustin.
today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at Mastermind Summit 25. Matt Emery puts on one of the greatest mortgage sales events of the year. It's hosted in Las Vegas, Nevada. The dates are June 25th through June 27th. The hotel is the Bellagio. You are not going to want to miss this event, especially if you love to learn from some of the best in the business, especially if you are an originator who thrives off of networking and masterminding with other mortgage professionals who are also in hyper growth mode. Plus, to make it even better, TLOP's going to be in the house. Go to our website, tloponline.com. That's TLOP online.com. And under the events tab, just click and you'll see a spot to register for Mastermind Summit 2025. We look forward to seeing you there. And we're back. So check this out, John. This was the prompt that you asked me that we teased.
Prompt. I'm not a AI. This isn't Claude, by the way.
JCAI?
You know, anytime you hear that someone actually named Claude, it doesn't work. I'm like, oh, the AI thing? Like, there's real people named Claude, Dustin. But now I just think of them as an AI prompt. It's like, oh, did you ask Claude? Oh, like what, the fucking AI thing or the person?
Do you know many Claudes?
I know one Claude my whole life. Grew up.
First name Claude.
First name Claude, spelled just like the AI thing.
Your age or older?
1 year above me.
No.
Black dude. Said it looked just like him. That's what the other kid said. But yeah, Claude Brown was his name. Go figure.
Claude is such an unk name.
It is. Like, it's kind of dope though.
Is it?
The more you say it, the more it sticks
like
with
Jean-Claude Van Damme was a badass. But even he today is probably 70. If you looked him up, he's probably 70 years old.
A lot of people in Hollywood are not aging well, by the way.
Well, the name Lowell is a hard one for me to like.
Lowell, Massachusetts. There's a Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yeah, like
Lowell.
Yeah, Lowell. Now,
yeah.
I at least went to high school with a Lowell James, so I was familiar with the name, and Lowell and I were friends from kindergarten all the way through. I'm connected with Lowell on Facebook, but this is not the same Lowell, but that's it's actually, that name is so hard for me to say that I almost thought about changing the character's name in today's story, but we're gonna be authentic. I won't use his last name.
It almost sounds like now when you say lol, it sounds like you're saying LOL, like lol, like
yes.
ha ha ha.
Yes.
God,
yes.
That name does not age well. Sorry, lol.
Yeah, sorry about that. All people named Lowell.
Okay, well, go ahead. Start your story. You were a young, up and coming originator, probably broke as hell on your fifth.
Definitely broke.
Freezing your credit cards, all this bullshit, and then one day lol came. An application came across your desk, and that's when it all started.
So it wasn't an application that came across my desk. It was a referral from Randy Brogan. Shout out to Randy Brogan.
Okay, so let's go.
So Randy was like my first cheerleader. He was the first agent that not only did I meet with him, but he had business to refer me. He didn't have another lender, and he and I hit it off. So in the early parts of my career, I may have only closed, let's say, 20 loans my first year, but 10 of them came from Randy Brogan. 3 of them were done through his client, Lowell.
Okay.
So Lowell was referred to me by Randy, and Randy was also just getting started in his real estate career. And he was an ex-real estate investor who was also like an engineer. So real estate was his second career, but he was by far at least 15 years older than me in life and had a professional career outside of real estate. So Randy was a good dude. He was a professional, knew his stuff, but he's still new, and he refers me to this guy that he had met at an investor workshop.
Yeah.
Okay, so think of the type of people that go to investor workshops. They're looking to get rich quick on real estate because someone's told him, maybe rich dad, poor dad, that was the way to do it.
Okay.
And I'm just a young, hungry, aggressive loan officer that wants to help people finance the homes that they're wanting to purchase. Like, I don't convince people ever to buy a house. What I do convince them to do is use me when they're looking to buy a house for their financing needs. So the first thing that I learned through Lowell is this. It took me 7 phone calls to get him on the phone with me. So Randy had given me his name and number. Randy had told me what he was looking to do. And I literally had to call this guy at least twice a week, every week for 3 weeks before I finally got him on the phone.
Did he ghost you straight to voicemail? Did you feel like you were ignoring him? All of the above in that order.
Yes, I thought about giving up. I thought about this is not a good lead. I could hear my first manager, Rob Mitchum, in the back of my head saying, "Do you know the best 4-letter word in sales?" I'm like, "Shit." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Damn." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Fuck." He's like, "No." He's like, "Next." Next. That's the best 4-letter word in sales. So I can hear Rob saying it's time for you to say next. Yet I didn't listen to Rob, which this was a time in my life that I'm happy I didn't listen to Rob Mitchum, because I have learned in sales it takes 7 attempts. But I now have a story, right? I have a actual live event that, had I not reached out to this guy at least 7 times, there's a good chance he may have found another lender to use.
And did you use a different script on each voicemail? First time I was like, "Hey, hello, just reaching out." By the 5th one, what are you saying different? "Hey, buddy." Yeah. "Hey, motherfucker. Like, this is my 9th talk. Like, do you not want me to call you?" Like,
I 1000% am a big fan of throwing crap against the wall to see what sticks. And I have tried the long-winded voicemail. "Hey, this is Dustin. I was referred to you by Randy. Randy told me that you were looking to purchase a couple investment properties. You needed some financing." Well, as you know, the first step is to get started with a mortgage pre-approval. Please give me a call back so we can schedule some time to chat, right? It'd be something like that. By the 5th or 6th, it would have been something along the lines of, "Hey, Lowell, I don't know if you're getting my voicemails. Please give me a call back so at least I know your phone works." Right? I mean, at some point in the mix, it would have been, "Hey, Lowell, I'm giving you a call because Randy really needs us talking. Could you please give me a call back so I can report back to Randy that you and I have chatted?" Right? By the 7th one, it would be like, "Hey, are you no longer interested in generating wealth through home ownership? Have you given up?
Yeah.
Please give me a call back so I can know whether or not I should keep calling you or if you've given up." Right? I would play with it because I had nothing to lose. Even now, I was like 26 years old. I knew, like, look, I have nothing to lose. I have everything to gain. But the first life lesson, if we were like to teach this as a class, is this is why you relentlessly pursue all leads. Like when I'm coaching the members at TLOP Originator Coaching and they hear me say you need to relentlessly pursue all leads till they buy, die, or get a restraining order, in the back of my head, I'm like, because it worked. It worked. I did not 1, not 2, but 3 transactions for Lowell. 3 transactions, and they were probably my 2nd, my 12th, and my 17th transaction that I ever funded in my life. I will always remember my first transaction, Troy Diamond. And I'm still in contact with Troy. No, sure. And I'm pretty confident my team has done at least 1, if not 2 additional transactions for Troy.
There you go.
So I will always remember Troy, just like I will always remember Lowell.
So what happened with Lowell after the 9th one? Like he finally, like, did he pick up and you're like, holy shit, is this a person? Or did he call you back from one of the plethora of voicemails?
He finally called me back. And
what was his bullshit lie? "Oh, sorry, man, been busy on this end. I've been meaning to get back to you."
Always is. He was probably trying to talk to other lenders. He probably tried to go to his bank, whatever the case was. Right. Yeah, he was trying other avenues. And he finally gave me a call back, and I was able to take down his information, ask him all the right questions, and figure out what he was trying to do.
How'd that make you feel? Like when he actually called you back, did you feel like, I got it? Like, was it like a mini win for you?
I was probably nervous because I didn't have that much experience, and I was pretty confident I was going to flub it. Like in those early years, the number of times I would have to tell somebody, you know, the guidelines on that have recently changed. Let me do this. I'm going to write down all your questions. Then I'm going to go do some research. I'm going to give you a call back. So that way I'm giving you the most accurate, up-to-date information and not something from 6 months ago. What I was really saying is I have no idea. I'm newly licensed. I just graduated from Zenix Ground School. I've never funded a loan, but I'm smart and I'm surrounding myself with experienced people. Let me do some research and get back to you. The number of times that I had to call someone back, not once, but twice. Like, "Oh, Mr. Coleman, I totally let you get off the phone, but I forgot to ask you, what's your social security number?" Like literally, it'd be like that basic, where you have to pull someone's credit, and in order to pull their credit, you need their social, but I just forgot to ask because I was inexperienced. Oh my God, I would do that. I mean, weekly and then monthly, and then eventually got to a point to where I'd only make those mistakes, once a quarter. Then you stop making them all together. But what you get is really good at calling people back and letting them know you forgot to ask them something very important, which is what I did. So I'm sure with Lowell, I was nervous. I'm sure with Lowell, I had to call him back several times to complete the same task because I kept on letting the conversation end before I got all the information I needed. So we fast forward. And Lowell was buying 3 investment properties. By the way, he bought 3 investment properties up in Jacksonville, Florida. And I can't even remember how he was raising the funds for these investment properties, because he needed at least 10% down, if not 20% down, to purchase. So maybe he had them in a 401k. Maybe he had leveraged a home equity line of credit to do so. I can't recall. It was 20 years ago. But the second lesson that I learned, do you know that Lowell actually had submitted back in the day, my first employer, we had this thing called a customer success guarantee, client success guarantee. If you didn't have a 5-star experience with us, the company will reimburse you your $500 application fee. Lowell, after the first transaction, he submitted for his $500 refund. Like he did not have a 5-star experience with us. Oh yeah. He gave me some 5 stars. He gave my processor 3 stars. He gave me a 1 star. Something that happened as closing, and I'm pretty confident I know what it was. I didn't know that his wife wasn't going to be at the closing, and we had to scramble last minute in order to get a power of attorney executed because he was going to be in Jacksonville. She was going to be in Orlando. The closing was happening in Jacksonville. By the way, that's a 2-hour drive between Jacksonville and Orlando. And this was 20 years ago. So we weren't doing remote online notarization. Like there was no paper sucks at that time going on. And so I'm pretty confident because of that last minute scramble. Now we still closed. We closed that day, but there was some scrambling going on. He wanted his $500 back. Normally, a loan officer would think that's the kiss of death. Right? Oh my God, this person hates me. The realtor hates me, et cetera, et cetera. Well, life lesson, and I can't tell you I was smart enough that I would have known this on my own, but the life lesson, the business lesson, here's what I learned. When things go sideways, not if, but when, that is our time to shine. That's our time to either put our head in the sand, ignore all of life's problems and hope they go away, which is never conducive, or we can step up, man up, own it, apologize, rectify the situation, and see things all the way through the end, which is what I did. So I did all of that. And what I was able to prove to Randy is, hey, I'm the type of loan officer that when things go sideways, I don't disappear. I step up. And I was able to show the consumer that although I made a mistake, I wasn't doing so maliciously. And I was going to do everything in my power to make it good. Now, it didn't take away from the fact that he wanted his $500 back, but it also didn't take away from the fact that he came back to me for his second and his third investment property. Now, his second investment property taught me another really good story.
Okay.
I did not collect the appraisal up front. So back in the day, if I didn't collect money for an appraisal up front, then my employer would take that money out of my commission if the loan never closed. So John Coleman came to me for a loan, and I said, "Hey John, I need $500 so I can order your appraisal." And you're like, "Oh, I don't have it right now," or "I need to get it to you, and I know it's important. Can't you just order it without me? I promise I'm good for it," etc. Well, I ordered an appraisal as an appraisal exception, which this still happens in today's day and age, and he ended up not buying that property. Something happened with the inspection, the walkthrough last minute. He pulled the plug, and he didn't pay, which meant I never collected, which meant I then had a $500 or $595 deduction out of my commission during a time when I couldn't afford it. So I learned that very valuable lesson on the second transaction, same borrower, that no, I collect all money up front. Like if I want to give you a discount, I'll give you a discount at closing, but I'm not going to willy-nilly order an appraisal without getting John's money, because ultimately, if you don't close a transaction, I don't have a way of getting that money for you unless I want to take you to like small claims court or send you off to collections. So that lesson was learned. But here's the last lesson, and it was a very costly lesson. Very costly.
Okay. All with Lowell?
All with Lowell.
I think Lowell just stands for taking L's, because that's all you've been doing with this dude.
Hey, the good news is, I closed 3 transactions. Right now, they weren't like the 3 same transactions. With any loan officer knows, look, you're going to have things that fall through, especially when you're working with investors because of home inspection issues, because of title issues, something gets caught up in probate, and the investor is not going to sit around and wait 60, 90 days, especially if they're trying to utilize a 1031 for their down payment, et cetera, right? So, and I'm trying to like speed up what probably transpired over 7 months. We're sliding into about 27 minutes of content, but it's really cool just to go back in history and think about how one borrower impacted me so much with these life lessons, right? Like I learned the value of relentlessly pursuing leads. I learned the value of stepping up to the plate and owning when mistakes happen and understanding that that's when I earn my keep. That's when I gain people's respect. It's not when things go well. Things are supposed to go well. It's easy when things go well. It's when things don't go well, what do? And that's your opportunity. And then I just learned like the valuable lesson of, hey, look, we should be collecting money up front to cover our costs. If not, then I'm going to be running my business into the ground. So that was a hard lesson that I learned one time, but I've owned and operated multiple businesses since. And I promise you, I'm way less loose with my money when there's things that I can't control. I think that was the life lesson. It was less about, hey, look, I started a loan application and ordered an appraisal on a property that Lowell ended up not buying, right? Okay, that happens, but I shouldn't have been on the hook for the cost of that appraisal. But I was, because I didn't make him giving the money up front. I thought, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hook this guy up. I just did a loan for him. And now, and I'm sure he was a pretty savvy negotiator and I was a pretty inexperienced young sales rep. I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing when he was like, look, man, I'm going to use you again, even though that last transaction didn't go exactly how we wanted, because I like you and I trust you. But man, you know I'm good for it. I don't need to give you money up front today for the appraisal. Why can't I just close it, or why can't I just pay for it at closing? And I should have been, you know what, sir? I would love to be able to do that, but my company doesn't allow me to do it, right? Like, and I teach that to our loan officers now. I'm like, look, if you don't want to do something, just blame it on me. I do it with my kids. I'm like, look, you don't want to go to that party? Be like, hey man, I can't go to that party. I really want to, but have you met my dad? It is not worth my dad grounding me for life just because I went to that one party. Yeah. So I tell my loan officers all the time, like if it's good news, you take full credit. If it's bad news, you blame me or you blame regulation. So I didn't have that type of confidence to stand up to someone who, he was probably 20 years older than me in life, 20 years older than me in business, and I probably let him push me around. But you lose $595 when you ain't got a dime to your name, you quickly grow a backbone and you quickly learn how to advocate and stand up.
You weren't mad at Lowell? Like, first time you burn him, then he gets you back with this. Wouldn't that make you be like, yo, I'm not working with you again, you clown?
No, because I'm a glass half full type guy, most cases. And I knew he was putting offers in on other properties. And I was looking at this as, I'm going to help this guy buy 10 properties. That was the original goal. The original goal was he was going to buy 10 properties. But you're going to learn why he only got to 3. Okay. So he gets to 3, and I'm pretty sure that third property, we don't talk about it because it went exactly how they're supposed to go. Like, we only talk about the loans that don't go how they're exactly supposed to go. Right. So I got the learning lesson from the first one. I got the learning lesson from the one that didn't close because I didn't collect the upfront appraisal deposit. Learning lesson on the second one, there probably wasn't one, except for, he didn't buy that first property. Third one went exactly how it was supposed to go. Fourth property. So now I'm doing this guy's fourth loan. And on that fourth property, we call him 3 days before his closing date. And we're like, Lowell, great news. You are clear to close. CTC. And it may have been like a week before. Because at this point, we had done multiple loans for the guy. We had all of his docs. He was well qualified. Yeah, we're CTC. He's like, oh, that's fantastic. Like, yeah, in fact, it was a week. It was 100% a week, if not 10 days early. Then the day before closing, I get a phone call from Megan. Megan was my processor at the time. And she says, Dustin, I have bad news. I'm like, what are we talking about? She's like, Lowell quit his job. I said, get the out of here. What are you talking about? He quit his job. I'm like, it can't be. She's like, call him. So I call him. I call Randy, the realtor. I'm like, WTF? He's like, well, you called me and told me I was clear to close. So I quit my job. He's like, I'm going full-time into real estate investing. This is awesome. And I said, Lowell,
what are you doing, man?
What, this is a full doc loan. Like, you're putting 10% down on a full doc loan. I need your income to qualify. And it was like crickets. He's like, what are you talking about? You told me that's critical. I said, yes, you were, but I didn't tell you could quit your job. So from that day forward, we now have the do's and don'ts. In fact, our TLOP members, like if you're coaching with us, you can log in to your learning platform right now. And I promise you, I probably have up there a consumer version of the do's and don'ts of mortgage financing. Like, do not quit your job. Do not apply for any new debt. Do not purchase a car. Like, do not. This dude quit his job. And I can only blame me. At the end of the day, did I emphatically tell this grown-ass man not to quit his job? No, I didn't. I had done multiple loans for him previously. We had a working relationship. I just assumed, and you know what happens when you assume, I just assumed that common sense would say, don't quit your job. His common sense said, you called me and told me I was clear to close. I'm like, yeah, but we still have to verify you're working. Like we as a lender still have to pick up the phone and say, hey, does John Coleman still work there? Oh, he does? Perfect. Thanks. We're not verifying anything besides John still works there. And they literally said, oh no, Friday was his last day.
So did the loan like evaporate? And
we had to deny the loan. Like, so back in the day, there was a loan product for him. If he wanted to pay 3 points and go on a 6-month adjustable arm, I could have done a no-doc investment property loan for him all day long with 10% down. The problem is I'd already submitted him as full doc. So you can't go from full doc to reduced doc. You could always start a file going no doc, and then we could have taken up the ladder and taken the stated income, or we could have taken it to full doc. Like, you can go from the most loose qualification to the more like detailed qualification, but you couldn't take someone, like, you can't unsee things.
Right.
So yes, I couldn't then flip him to a no doc loan. It was denied. Damn. Never talked to him again.
Really?
After that, never talked to him again. No.
What about the realtor on the other end?
Randy?
Yeah, Randy.
Just did a loan for his daughter probably a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, Randy's no longer in real estate. He went back into his first profession. But yeah, his daughter was getting married, time for her to buy her first house. I get a phone call, and I was like, no way. I haven't talked to this guy in like 6-7 years. Like, great to hear from you.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, those are some of those war stories that you get a group of us around a campfire with a good bottle of whiskey, and we'll start like, do you remember that one time? Let me tell you about this one borrower. Yeah, that's one of my one borrower stories. I'm sure there's more of them out there, and maybe we can continue to have dialogue like this with guests that we have on in the future, or maybe we'll take this dialogue and move it over to a brand new YouTube channel. You never know.
There you go.
You never know. Well, look, that is all the time we have, John.
Definitely.
I think I'm gonna find a way to put a nice bow on this. Shout out to Lowell H.
Yeah.
With those investment properties up in Jacksonville.
Probably locked up.
Shout out to Randy Brogan. You're a good dude. And guys like you will always have a super special place in my heart when I look back at where my career is today, knowing that you were one of the most influential people to help me get started. So for that, I appreciate. And I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Look, if you like content like this, do yourself a favor and do us a favor. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. The YouTube channel has more than just podcast episodes. We're dropping training videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those training videos are free. Go to our website and sign up for our newsletter. I write the newsletter. It comes out every single Thursday. The website is tloponline.com. I've been told it is the best newsletter that takes less than 3 minutes to read. Just chock full of great nuggets. And if you're signed up for the newsletter, you'll also get an invitation every month to one of my free masterclasses that I am hosting and coaching and teaching. So he's John Coleman. I'm Dustin Owen. You've just tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.